So our trip to Japan started at Fushimi Inari Shrine. It was so cool walking through the torii gates, but oh my god, it was so hot and humid. We only made it halfway up and we're like, yeah, that's far enough. And on the way back down, we ran into this super cute shrine cat. It was just sitting there like it owned the place. Honestly, it kind of did. And then we went to Kiyomizu-Dera temple and we got there just in time for sunset. The view was absolutely insane. Everything was golden and it felt like the perfect ending to the day.
Sarah, der Starfotograf. Was? Ja.
For dinner, we went to vegan ramen uzu, and the vibe there was unreal. It's part of Team Lab, so there's art surrounding you, calming music, and this really artsy atmosphere. And the herb ramen we ordered, hands down, the best ramen we've had so far. The next day we took a bus to Hiroban to try their famous bamboo soba noodles. And honestly, we thought it'd be super chill and relaxing, but it was kind of chaotic. Especially if you're trying to film the whole thing while eating and trying to catch the somen on time. But still, it was fun to try something different. Later that day, we stopped by the Kyoto senbei factory. We saw that on Jun's kitchen, and we noticed that it was just one block from our Airbnb, and we thought, okay, we have to check this out. The snacks they gave us were little works of art, and they even gave us free samples. That afternoon, we decided to buy some yukatas. And we got dressed and we did our hair, which was a bit of a struggle, but once we figured it out, it felt amazing. It was so much fun walking around all dressed up. The next day was one of my favorites. We went on the Hosogawa River boat ride, which was so peaceful. You float through the countryside with mountains all around you, and the tour guides, they give you stories about all the landmarks that you pass or objects, and they tell you some funny stories. And I don't know, it was just a fun experience. I would definitely recommend. And at the end of the ride, there was a food boat. They sold a bunch of stuff. Everything looked delicious. We got the grilled dango, and they were so good. The next day, we wanted to ride the Sagano romantic train. To get there, we walked through the bamboo forest, which was amazing. And you can see the romantic train. At the station, they even had this adorable train mascot. The ride was incredible. We saw rivers, mountains, we drove through old tunnels. You could enjoy the wind and the air. It was really nice. We stopped for a break by the river where we had some taiyaki, and we thought it was time for exploring. Oh, this is the tour boat that we did yesterday.
Ich will doch einmal ein bisschen eleganter werden. So, weg.
The next day we headed to Nara. We're so impressed by this beautiful train station. The souvenir shops there are full of deer themed stuff, which makes sense because there are deer everywhere. We started the day filming some silly videos at Starbucks. And then we spent most of the day just feeding and filming the deer. Well, our camera rolls are now full of deer. We also visited a couple of temples. We got a shrine stamp. And then we walked through this beautiful forest.
Wir haben keinen Mittag mehr. Es ist schon abends.
The next day we checked out the traditional Mochi pan. The line was way too long to buy any, but it was still very fun to watch. And then we went to Yoshikian Garden. The garden has 3 different styles. It has a pond garden, a moss garden, and a tea ceremony garden. If you ever want to get away from the city, this is definitely the place. It was so peaceful there. On our last day, we wanted to feed our last cookies to the deer, and fun fact, if you bow to them, they bow back. But if you're too slow with the cookies, they might bite you. For our last big adventure, we went hiking a little bit. For lunch, we had some soba and udon, which were perfect for a hot day. But then it started raining out of nowhere, and even the deer were trying to take cover. All in all, this trip was everything. Amazing food, incredible sights, and so many fun memories. We can't wait to go back to Japan in October!